Take me to your leader. Auga! You have crossed over into the chick fix zone. Oh, the one time I get to take a nap. Now, a sink that doesn't stop dripping is annoying for sure. And of course you're wasting water, which is no good. But you won't necessarily need a plumber to come and fix it for you. Of course, all brands and models of faucets are going to be a little bit different, so yours may not work exactly like mine, and you may find that you have to go onto your manufacturer's website to figure out how to do what I'm about to do on mine on your faucet. But you will likely need a flathead screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver, and channel locks, or an appropriately sized wrench if you have it. Now, fixing a dripping faucet typically means opening up the handle. So the first thing we're gonna do is pop the tops off of these guys.
Turn the water off, dummy.
You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn off the water. All right, water's off. There's a little notch right in here that I think is designed for you to be able to get in there. Oh yeah, there we go. Pull this guy off here. All right. Pop that off. All right, went and found myself a smaller flathead screwdriver. Oh, geez. And ta-da! And look at the crud of about 15 years in there. I think I'm gonna take that in the kitchen and clean it off. Before, after. Okay, the next thing is to loosen up these bolts right here. You can use channel locks for this, but if you have an appropriately sized wrench, that's great too. I may have to put a little elbow grease into there, but mine came off pretty easily. Then, whew, okay. Now, these guys inside of your faucet handles are called cartridges, and they're what control the water going from the lines to the faucet itself when you turn it on. Sometimes these guys go bad and you gotta replace them. You can't typically find these in a hardware store because there's just too many faucets out there and they can't keep them all stocked. So you do have to order them. But the good news is that many manufacturers of faucets will guarantee their products for life, and if you call them up, they'll send you a replacement cartridge for free. Some older faucets may have some additional gaskets and rubber rings and things like that that can also fail, so that may be something else that has to be replaced. You know what also would have been a good idea that I didn't think to do first was put something over the drain to make sure nothing drops down there.
But luckily for me, all of the pieces were too big to fit down the drain.
Now once you put the cartridges back in, you can put back the, this is called a bonnet nut or an adjustable ring sometimes, depends on who you ask. But you're gonna put that back on there. Now with this, you wanna make it nice and snug, but you don't want to over tighten it too much because that will make it harder to turn the water on when you need to. Flat part on the inside of mine here, which must match up with the flat part on these. So we're going to try and look at that. There we go. Well, make sure you're putting the blue on the cold and the red on the hot. I know that sounds silly, but it's a pain if you do that wrong. You got to pry that sucker out of there again. Do the flat part on there. Down there again. All right, so here we go. And no leaking. All right, now your shower and your bathtub are gonna work very similarly. Of course, there are other ways that you can have leaks around the faucets in your bathroom, and for those, your secret weapon is Teflon tape, also known as plumber's tape. You can get this for about $1, $1.50 at your local hardware store. Now, what's great about Teflon tape is that it's actually not tape, it's really just film, but you wrap it around the threads where your water fixtures attach to the water lines to help minimize leaks. Now, to show you what I mean by that, let's take a quick flashback to a problem that I had a few months ago with this shower. All right, now as you can see, the water is coming up from the wrong direction up here and it's spewing all over the shower. Let's hope that I don't get soaked in this process. Woo! Uh-oh. Didn't get me. Wrap it around real tight around the threads. You don't really need too much of it. There we go. See how I've kind of stretched it around all the threads there so it's real nice and tight? Twist it back on there and make sure that it's nice and tight. Check that out, no more leaking. Now, Teflon tape is also really good for the connections of where the water lines for the faucet meet the actual water source. Great place to use Teflon tape as well to help minimize those leaks. This is Chick Fix signing off. Oh.